Good day. This is Joe Sonona from Sonona Speaks Seminars, and this is Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate. And my guest this week is David Manzano Jr. from My Town Realty. Welcome, David.
Hey, how are you?
I'm
Good to be
great.
here.
I'm great. Welcome to the show, finally.
I know, right? Why did it take 59 episodes to get me? I don't
Because
understand
I
that.
saved the best for last, or the
Oh,
best for
damn.
60. This
Right,
might be
right,
our,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, this might be our 60th episode of Coffee Talk. I
Wow.
don't know, but we'll just call it the 60th episode. How's that for
Excellent.
in
Excellent.
honor of David Manzano?
Appreciate that. All right.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started in real estate and what are you doing now?
Well, my journey had a couple twists and turns. So right out of college, I decided that I was going to get into real estate. My father was in real estate, but being a typical 25-year-old kid, I thought, well, you sell houses, I'm going to sell big buildings. How about that? I'll sell bigger, and I'll do $1 million deals. And so I went and got licensed in 2007. I went to the number one local commercial real estate firm, did all that without telling my dad. They
Hmm.
picked me up. I was all excited. We went to dinner. I told my dad, hey, I'm getting into real estate, but I'm doing this. The commercial industry around here is very cutthroat. I learned that very quickly. And after about a year and a half, it just wasn't for me. So I got out of it, went back to college, and I'm a musician, so I did some music stuff and traveled, and went to Nashville, came back, and decided to give it another whirl. I was more humbled and more mature at that point, and my dad said, do you want to give it a second go with me this time and be my partner in it? And I agreed, and we started crushing it together, and it was great. A lot of listings, which we'll talk about today. And but I always knew I was kind of destined, I thought, for something a little bit bigger. And then 3 years ago, I opened my own brokerage, My Town Realty, downtown. And my dad
And what
came
a
with me
beautiful
later.
office it is. And what a beautiful
Yeah, you've
office it
been there.
is.
Joe's
I've
been there.
been there. I've trained some of your agents. I think
Yeah.
got a great office. And if that office was here in Long Beach, New York, I think every real estate agent would join you, especially for the gym that you have in your office.
Yeah. And we're being
And the kitchen.
the
Don't
kitchen.
forget the kitchen. How
What's
many
your
square
favorite?
feet is your office?
I think we're like 8,000 square feet.
8,000?
Yes. I think about
8,000 square
we
feet
might.
of
I didn't
office.
measure it, but I'm pretty sure it's about
It's
8,000.
it's awesome. You have a huge conference room. I'm bragging about it, and several little offices, private offices, workspaces. This office has everything you want to know in the Syracuse area. If you're a Syracuse agent, this is a great office.
I appreciate.
I'll recruit for you. Oh, and you have a media studio too inside
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah. We've got the
Hmm.
My Town studios. We can do Facebook Live in there, and it's
Maybe
it's a lot
this
of fun,
interview should have been up there. I should have
right?
flown up to
I
Syracuse
know,
and done.
right? I know, right? Oh, I got some news. Maybe it's hot off the press, actually.
Oh,
I haven't even announced it yet. Do you want me to announce
well,
it
wait,
on
wait, wait
on
till
your
the end.
show?
Wait till the end. Wait till the end.
Okay.
You know
All
what?
right.
We'll make that a surprise for the ending.
I'm
But
gonna exclusive content right here.
exclusive content.
Exclusive content.
Let's get to the questions. The question is, what is your secret sauce to listing a home?
I would say my secret sauce is combining market knowledge with technology. Going in there confident, using my four pillars of pricing, which is price, condition, location, and the marketability of a home. Those are my four pillars that I use. You've got your price and your condition, which are two things that you can change. Location you cannot change, and how marketable your home is depending on the style. Understanding those four key aspects of it going in there helps me go in and price the house correctly based off of how the market's doing in those four categories, hit the number, and then the marketing with my technology, that's just icing on the cake to get the maximum exposure. So that's kind of what I do, and it works
That's
real well.
good. And what kind of technology do you use to market a home?
So lately I've been using, believe it or not, right here, man.
Your cell phone.
Yeah, these iPhone Pros,
Okay,
and I'm going to say the exact model because it's important that this model has a wide angle lens to it, and you can shoot video and edit video directly on the phone.
nice.
So I've got a background in editing and all that, but you don't even need that to use the phone. So after taking all my photos, I take my own photos. I don't hire anybody because I want to take the photos. I know how to shoot. I'm shooting for size and dimension, and um, my photos tell a story. So I shoot my own stuff. So that's another thing that I do. I don't hire a photographer because they're shooting, in my opinion, as photographers do, not necessarily as a realtor will. You know what I mean? Like their angles might not be my angles.
Sure, sure.
So I
I
use
I
my
saw
phone.
some pictures yesterday of an agent that shot pictures off of their cell phone, but it is not you because they didn't use your kind of sophisticated phone. I think they did it with a flip phone, and and they shot dark pictures of a room. I love the pictures. I have said this before on this show. I love the pictures of the bathroom with the toilet seat
Oh,
up.
that's my favorite.
But this particular person knew to put the toilet seat down. This was yesterday. But there was this yellowish light in every room
Right.
that made the room
Yeah.
dark. It
Right.
was this dark, not like dark on the outer ends, but like a
Right.
spotlight in the middle. And it was just so poor, and it didn't tell a story like you just said. Pictures have to tell a story.
Yeah, they do. You should understand what you're looking at with the photos. It should, and they should be somewhat accurate too. I mean, I know we talk about this at NISAR,
Oh, sure, sure.
where you misrepresent a home because the photos are doctored up. So you just want to walk that fine line. But
Well, that's our code of ethics. We have to tell
right,
the true picture
we
of
got to
our
tell the true
advertising, right?
the true picture. So that on top of shooting an actual video and editing it together with music and throwing that up there online, that helps. I didn't even spend any money on my video that I just put out, and it had over 1,200 views just on
Wow,
Facebook alone.
wow.
Yeah, it
Do
looks
you
nice.
go other than Facebook? Do you advertise your listings anywhere else?
I personally don't use Instagram. I know some of my agents use Instagram.
Okay,
I mean, I have a pretty big following on Facebook, believe it or not. I mean, it's maybe
right.
3,000 people ish. I mean, our my town Facebook page has about 5,000.
Must
So
be the gym.
it's probably the gym. It's got to be the
I'm
gym.
telling you, you have a video on your site that tells a story about your real estate office
Yep.
alone, and
Right.
that is an awesome video that you put down. That was professionally done, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. We hired a production
Okay,
company. We're actually going to do another one soon, an updated one. I'm about 20 pounds heavier than because of the gym, but
because of the
um,
gym.
uh,
Yeah.
and we have more
Now I
agents
know
now.
were you closed during COVID? You didn't open your office or anything.
Oh
You
yeah,
didn't
no,
go
we
in.
had to.
Yeah.
I actually closed the day before it was official. I saw it coming. I follow the stats on the CDC and all those websites. I'm a big numbers guy, tracker kind of person. So I was already 2 3 weeks ahead of it. I was start following it March 1st,
Wow.
so I could kind of see it coming. So I closed the office the day before. I was writing the email and then they closed. Yeah, we were closed. We were doing everything virtual. I was having Zoom meetings, and we were closed. We were
Are
closed
you
for a while.
back in now? Are you back in full time?
Yeah. We're back in. I'm kind of mixing my time back and forth right now from home there and some other stuff I'm doing, which I'll announce at
Okay.
the end.
Okay.
Um, and it's good. Like we've got protocols in place. Everyone has to wear
Good.
masks unless they're in their office. If you're going to use the gym, you have to wear a mask. You have to sign it out so we know when. We've got,
Right.
the building keeps cleans it every single day. We've got good janitorial, so they take care of it. We've got sanitizer everywhere.
I was in
Um,
my local municipality today, and I got the test for the first time.
your temperature,
The temperature. Yeah, and
right?
I never. It was kind of odd, that I walk in, and I think that's gonna be like probably one of our biggest things is to get this temperature, right?
Yep.
This thermostat.
Yep.
And imagine doing that with everybody comes into an open house.
See, I've actually tried to tell my agents not to do open houses. They're starting to want to do them. I told
Okay.
them it's completely optional. I see actually problems with them. I see people not wanting to obey the new rules because they're used to a certain way. I see
Right.
people maybe getting upset that they're required that they can't bring their kids in, or that they have to put a mask on, or they have to wait outside. And I just said I think with everyone going virtual right now, I don't necessarily see the benefit to doing it as of right now. So I've kind of told them not to do them, but some of them are still doing them, but they're being really cautious. And we haven't really had that many issues. But personally, I'm not going to do any of them. I'm not going to do an open
Right.
house for
Right.
a very long time because
Hmm.
I don't feel like having that discussion with the public. Hey, you can't bring your kids in here. Well, why not? This is stupid. And
Well,
then
I've been doing a lot of virtual open
yeah,
houses,
yep, yep,
and if I do an open house, it's going to be one customer at a time.
right.
And if I see people with children, luckily for me, I haven't had um, people coming in with children. But if they do come in with children, I also ask them if they could wear a mask. I give them a mask, so that gives me good branding right there. I
Right.
also give them the hand sanitizer. I make them sign like 35,000 COVID
Right,
sign
right, right,
papers.
right.
I think the paperwork has been added. What do you think of that as a broker, broker owner
I
with
mean,
all this paperwork?
I'm glad we have it. I mean, for liability, but it seems like it's evolving so quickly. So some of the stuff we had done during phase 2 and 3 is obsolete now because we're in a different phase. But the issue is we could also backpedal if things go wrong. We could close up again. So I've kind of
Yeah.
I'm a little frustrated here with that, but it is what it is, and I got to look at liability. That's my biggest concern. Being broker owners, liability
What are
factor.
your agents doing as far as I know if they're listing property and you're such as yourself, how are you getting the listings? If you can cold call because under a
Well,
governor's
great.
order.
We actually, I mean, I think we can now.
No,
Actually,
September 7th.
September 7th is
Yeah,
the
so by the time this airs, we'll probably be
okay, great.
already circle
Because
prospecting.
that sounds good. I mean, I haven't, I personally haven't.
You don't need to. You
Really,
work on referrals, right?
yeah. I work on strictly referrals, but I mean, it's been it's been okay. I think because most of the agents, uh, our slogan is "We come recommended," so most of them are getting
That's
referrals, and
good.
you
That's
know,
good.
so we've been fine. We've been fine. Ironically, though, for sell by owners, certain ones are starting to come around because we're trying to convey to them that the power behind our brokerage and the power behind the market and the reach that we all have put going in the MLS and syndication, you're probably leaving money on the table by not testing that out. You're just trying to sell to your neighbor. We could come in there and price it, and the price you're
Right.
going to sell to your neighbor or whomever, it could bid up to where you're paying real estate commissions and you're making more money. And
It's
I'm
true.
I'm doing that for somebody right now, and it's going to do real well. And some of my agents working there for sale by owners are getting a good they're doing pretty good. But again, we've been keeping that to a minimum
Where in
until
Syracuse are you? You're located?
so we're actually right in the downtown Syracuse, right in the city. The office is right downtown, so we're central.
Nice.
Uh, we're
Very
15
nice.
minutes from everything, basically.
What is the name of your building? The Icon?
Icon Tower. Yep, we're in
Icon Tower,
second
right, right.
floor. Second floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful building. I can't stop boasting. I wish this building was in my town. But it is my town. My town. um,
This is why I love my intellectual property. See.
There you go. So next question would what advice would you give to a new agent starting out? If you had to look at young David Manzano back
Right.
then, what advice would you give to a new agent
The first advice
on
is
listing? On
yep.
listings.
That's the first advice. The first advice is to try and get a listing. I know that it's difficult because you don't know anybody, but usually the old way was it's easier to get buyers than listings, and it kind of still is actually. But right now, with the market being what it is, if you're a buyer agent, at least in my area, you're going to get destroyed out there because
Right.
everything is selling with no inspections and over asking, and you've got that first time home buyer that's not comfortable waiving inspections. I don't blame them, but they're losing five, six, seven houses. I actually got an offer today on one of my listings. I actually have 5 offers at this moment. Someone just texted me as we're talking that
Are they all
they have
coming from Manhattan?
no, not coming from Manhattan.
No.
No,
Okay.
they're but now you made me lose my thought. Um,
Sorry.
what was
That's
I
what
saying?
happens on this
You're
show. We
killing
lose our
me. You're
thoughts.
killing me, man.
You had 5, 6
Oh
offers
yeah,
on one
five,
property.
6 offers. Yeah, and at least 2 of them have no home inspections, and the other 3
Wow.
are solid offers. But what are you going to do if you're advising your client the easiest to the finish line deal? In our inspection language up here states that someone can get out of the deal for any reason on inspection. So
Wow.
we don't have any type of limitation on the scope of what they can and cannot do. It's basically like you do an inspection, and if you're not happy, or you just change your mind, or you just found another house, you just say it's unsatisfactory and you're done. So what am I supposed to do if I'm advising the client? I got 5 offers and 2 of them don't have that clause in there, and there's no inspection. Unfortunately for those other people, they're going to lose. So yeah, so I remember what I was going to say. One of the offers that I got, the agent told me that their buyer lost 12 offers. So
12.
that buyer has written 12 houses. They wrote 12 offer for all 12 houses, and they've lost. This is their 12th house.
What an
And I got,
emotional roller coaster.
I know. So think about the fact that your buyer agent is showing all those houses plus an additional 4 or 5 houses. I'm assuming they're not buying every single house they walk into. Think about how much time that is, how much emotional angst that is, because every time you lose, your buyer gets buyer fatigue. They get upset, and now you're on your 12th house. And if you're listing and a listing agent, okay, you're in the driver's seat now. You're not showing a million
Yeah.
houses. So my advice to the agent that's listing, the first thing that you should do is you need to, if you've got a good sphere, start calling people that you know and asking for the business. That's 101. You can't cold call right now, as we discussed, so you can't do that. Your only option is to call people you know and let them know what you're doing, and try to see if they know anybody. Because you got to get a listing. I used to say get a buyer right away.
And then what happens after the agent gets his or her new listing? They're new to the business. Do you think that the client would be very happy to know that their inexperience is what they signed up with, or should
Well,
they pair up with somebody?
well, the way that I do it, they could pair up if they wanted to, but I always tell them to, at least in my brokerage case, I personally mentor everybody. So I
Good.
usually say you need to tell them that you have a one-on-one relationship with the president of the company, who looks over everything, guides you, helps you every step of the way, and that the power of the brokerage and the tools that we have with our website and all of the stuff that we do, and that's what they're signing up for. And if they
And you're
need
not
me,
too busy, are you, for your agents?
no, never,
Good.
never. I'm never
Do
too
you
busy.
remember we had this conversation when you first were thinking about opening up?
Oh yeah, I remember that very well.
Do you want to tell the story about what I said?
How you told me you're crazy, don't do it.
Don't because speaking from experience, I
Because
didn't want you
yeah,
to be boggled down and lose that creativity. But it seems that you're juggling very nicely. You're not juggling. That's a
no, I
wrong,
am
poor
no,
choice
I
of
am
word.
no,
You
I
are
am juggling.
balancing. You're
No,
balancing.
juggling is probably a good
No,
adjective
I think you're
because,
balancing. I think you're a very well balanced
well, you got to
person.
think. You got to think. I've got the brokerage, okay. I've got the mentoring and training, and I also still am an active agent, but I'm not
Right.
competing. Now I don't compete with them, so
That's correct.
I've got to keep my sphere going in my referral base going that I spent seven,
Right.
8 years building. So yeah, you are kind of juggling or balancing it. It's not the easiest to do for sure. But I don't regret it. It's fun. It's challenging. It keeps your mind sharp. Um, you know, I've learned a lot. I've gotten better every year. You get better and better. So, I'm better now than I was 3 years ago, and 3 years from now, that's the beauty of it. Being a broker owner is definitely different. It's not easy, but I didn't think it'd be easy. You told me it wasn't going to be easy,
I
and you
said it's
weren't
no pic.
lying.
I said it's no picnic. It's no
No,
picnic.
no,
But
no.
let me ask you, what advice would you give to uh, an older or a more experienced person in the business, just from an observational standpoint? And you could also probably take into consideration that uh, broker owners too, like yourself, who have been in the business. What advice would you give them?
So the older agents, I would say, um, and I learned this from experience, is do not um, underestimate and do not knock the value that the younger agents have that work with you. So just because you get somebody that came in and doesn't never sold a house, their background could be they could have a degree in computers, science. They might have other jobs, other experience. They grew up in a different time with technology. So my advice would be to share the wealth with them and let them share the wealth with you. Don't have an attitude with them that
Mhm.
you're seasoned and a veteran and they're new and they're not probably not going to make it anyway, so you're not going to give them the time of day. Share with them, but ask for them to share with you because they bring value. And I learned that from my dad. I mean, when he asked me to join with him when we were co-listing together after I'd failed with the commercial, he didn't ask me to be um, his assistant. He didn't ask me to be an admin. He didn't ask me to just help him out. He said, I want a partner, right? And I remember thinking, partner, I don't get that. I don't know anything.
Mm.
And he's like, but you do. You have a bachelor's degree. You have a master's degree. You've got some experience. Yeah, you don't know
Right.
how to sell a house, but you can help me with the technology, and that is value to me. That's why I need a partner. We're even. And
That's
I
correct.
it was the first time that he actually ever made me even, honestly, because I was always the kid, the son. But
Well, he saw eye to eye with you,
it was
and
really
a
it was
lot of seasoned people, look like this, and
yeah, no, I know.
they
Oh, I
take
know.
little bits and pieces of the person that they're dealing with who are new. You know,
100%. And it worked. I mean, I remember the first few months thinking, okay, is he just being nice? Like, you know, is it gonna go? Am I gonna be his assistant? And I mean, from the first day he started it to even now, even though it's a little different, it was never. I was always I was always equal in his mind, and it made me better, and I made him better. So
I know your dad personally and professionally, and I have to tell you, you really described him to a T. He would never make anyone
no,
less than who he is. He's a very balanced person, and he'll
100%.
look at you and treat you equally. He's a good man, and
Yeah.
you could tell him I said that.
Well, I'm gonna make him watch this whole thing, so he better.
And you have another motherly type of
Oh
woman
yeah,
on your team who I love and adore. My
Nancy.
friend Nancy
Oh yeah,
Quigg.
she's the best.
Yep, yep. The three, actually, both of them introduced me to you.
Yeah, they did. They
How many
did.
years ago? 5 years ago?
You know what? It might even be longer than that now, to be honest with you,
A
because
few years ago. We'll
I'm
say a
trying.
few
It
years
would
ago.
it would have been the first time I went to NISAR meetings, and
That's right. That's right.
I've been. This is my in residential. This is I'm in the middle of my ninth year, so it was probably like more like 7 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
2011 for residential.
it's good. It's a good friendship. The three of
Yeah, oh yeah,
us, the three of you to me, and me back to
right.
the three. And actually, some of your agents are also my friends on social media, and they're really good people. But then again, I think the people in Syracuse are also very nice people too. They speak a little funny, but
We
it's
do.
pretty
We got
good.
that flat A, that
Eh,
we do.
the
We do. Yep. Cans. Can't.
Let's get on to the next topic, which is law
Sure.
of agency. And
Okay.
this is a teaching show. So, if you had to pick between old car acronym, obedience, loyalty, disclosure, accountability, confidentiality, accountability, and reasonable care, which one would you? I know they're all important, but which one is your favorite?
That's tough. I think it's I have to have two that are a tie. I know that's cheating, but uh, I have to.
Only one. Only one.
They're so intertwined. It's
I
not even.
know they're very intertwined, and a lot of agents that come onto this program, they always say the same thing. Ironically, they always say, "Oh, I got to pick one." Oh, before we even air, I go,
I
"Only
mean,
one."
I would say, God, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna have to edge it out
Now,
tiny.
remember, this is the foundation of our business, of our culture. This is fiduciary duties that we owe to that person
I think
listing the property.
it's got to be loyalty. I can't. I wanted to say reasonable care, but if I had to pick, it's got to be loyalty because without that, you got nothing. You got nothing. Um, you know, it's tough out there lately. I don't know. There's been situations where you think you have loyalty and it's not there, and you're shocked. But that's why if you establish that, you know, with old car and get that agency relationship going, and everybody understands what's at stake here, uh, then you should be good. But loyalty is the most important to me.
That's good. That's good. Any last? Oh, we have a special announcement
Oh
from
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
town.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can
Ready?
give. Go ahead. What's
This
your
is this
special
is this
announcement?
is this hasn't even been announced yet
This is
publicly.
a debut right
The
here on.
debut. So we are opening a second branch of my town. It's
You
not
didn't
going to
learn from
be.
the first one. You got to open a
I
second one.
gotta do it again. It's a mini version though.
Congratulations. Whereabouts?
It's gonna be in Camillus, New York, in the West, which is a big market. I'm actually from that area. So we used to do a lot of listings over there. I wanted a presence there for a while, um, and it's going to be again. It's going to be small. Nothing like the 8,000 we've got. We don't need. We got one central hub. We don't need more of that. We need little offices now. And we've got our main corporate situation going, and if agents want that, they got that. And now it's time to open the smaller ones strategically in the area. So it's going to be right in Camillus, New York, about 1,200 square feet. And the build out's going on right now. I've got the first two agents that have signed on
Very good.
to start it. And it should be launching in the next 30 days, hopefully. I've got billboards going up in another 5 days, so they've already been running when this airs. So that'll be nice, and we're doing it. So fresh off the presses.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I say that with a little bit of a pit in my stomach because I always worry about my good friends, especially my good friend David Manzano. But
He's like,
I
"What are
think
you
you
doing?"
no, well, I don't want to say that. You see, you brought it up, not me.
I
I
can see
asked you
it.
what
I
you were
can see
doing
it.
when you opened up my town for the first time. But you take great risks. You put fear behind you.
Right.
You throw things in with a leap of faith as well. But you don't treat your business that way as far as listings, which is why you're here on this program. You are a listing pro in my eyes because you treat people with the utmost respect and you get the job done, and that's the bottom line. And
Appreciate
if
that.
yeah, and if you, it's the truth. And if you're opening up a second office and clearly you have two agents that want to join you right away, it tells me something about your brand and tells me something about your philosophy as a broker owner. And I wish you good luck with everything you do. And I'm always here for you. I've said
Appreciate
it.
that.
I said it in the past. I said it in person. I said it over the phone. I'll say it over coffee talk. I'm always there for you and your agents at My Town Realty in Syracuse, New York.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. They all love you too, man. So they do. They talk about you a lot. So
Oh boy. It's a really very good real estate office, and it's a very good educational teaching tool that you give them from the get-go.
Right.
And that's what homeowners especially should be looking at when they pick a realtor. They should be looking at the what do they call that, the precipice, right, of where that agent stems from and how that agent is getting the education to help their sale as they go along in the business. So I always look for the common denominator, and I always look for the root, when I'm talking to an agent, like, how did you pick up that? Where did you learn
Mm-hmm,
this?
mm-hmm.
What habits do you have that you can impart on into your business that can help the consumer? Because that's what we do as real estate professionals. We're here for them.
Yep.
And a lot of consumers, whether there's two things that irk me. One of them is that consumers think it's all about us and it's all about
Yep.
commissions.
Yep.
And the second thing that I don't like, and you brought it up, and I'm glad you did. As the way you like the loyalty, I like the loyalty. I don't like false loyalty.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's, you stick with me, you get good service. You have my 100% loyalty. I know you give good service as well, because you wouldn't be getting all these referrals. And it's your name that clearly stands out in Syracuse as a very honest and ethical broker. My name stands out where I do business here in Long Beach, New York. And that's why we're friends, because water seeks its own level.
Exactly.
And
That's
on that note, we're out of time, but I want
okay.
to thank you, David Manzano, for being my guest this week
No
on Coffee
problem.
Talk with the Listing Pros. And this is Joe Sonona, and this has been an exciting episode with my good friend David Manzano as my guest speaker this week on Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros Sonona Speak Seminars. Tune in on the weekends. We have switched to weekend airings, and we've been finding that a lot more of you are catching on to this program. So we'll be here as long as you're here. Thank you very much and have a good day. Thanks,
Thanks.
David, for being on the
Yeah,
show.
man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Take
it.
care. Be well.